Hi friends, welcome. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping in. So this morning I would like to share with you the Ink Joy glittered epoxy pens. So I did my first set of Ink Joy glittered epoxy pens, and they are really cute. So I'm totally digging this. I will definitely do some more, and I learned a lot as I was doing this. So I didn't video the actual process of doing this. I don't know. I think I expected it to be kind of different than it was, but I learned some things as I was going along, and I thought I would share it with you in case you're going to do some of these pens. Now, if you haven't seen these and people doing these, they're really, really cute. And these pens, they're the Ink Joy. So these are the pens that I bought. It's the Papermate Ink Joy. I got these from Walmart. This pack of 22 was $21.97. That seems to be about the best price I have found. They do have them on Amazon as well, about the same price. Now, if you buy them in a smaller pack, then they're more expensive. So they seem to be from $1 and some change to $2 a piece. So the larger pack is the best deal for your money. Now, you could definitely do some lesser expensive pens, because one of my friends that came over and saw these, did ask about, doing some lesser expensive pens. You absolutely can. However, I personally am not going to. Now, I was thinking that, I might make these and sell these for about $12. So first of all, please let me know if I'm completely off base with that, because I don't really sell my products, and maybe I'm off base with that price point. So please let me know. But I was thinking, if I'm going to be selling somebody a pen for $12, I want it to be a good pen. I want the inside work to match the outside work. I worked hard on these, and I want it to be good. I want it to be something that they can use, and they can use for a long time. The Ink Joy pens, the carcass is beautiful to work with, and they write so good. They write so good, and these pens, you can easily change the inside ink when the ink runs out. And they're beautiful, great working pens, and you're giving somebody a good product all the way around. So some of the things that I learned. Now, most of these, as you can see, let me just show you some of the colors. Most of these I did chunky glitter. All right, so most of these are chunky glitter. Now, these three are not chunky glitter. These are fine glitter. So what I learned is that the fine glitter is much easier to use than the chunky. So as you can see, obviously I used chunky glitter. It turned out beautiful. These look really good. But because of the surface area available on the pen, just like on your tumbler, you have to go in, flatten out your chunky, and you have to, maybe sand it if you have places that sit up. And because the surface area is smaller, it's a little bit more work to get the chunky glitter to all lay down, if that makes sense, because you've got your curve a lot sooner in places. So it's a little bit harder to get the chunky glitter to lay down. However, totally worth it. They look beautiful, but just know it's definitely more work, and the fine glitter is just much easier. Now, so with that, what I did was, first of all, just so you know, this is what I used to turn them on. I started out using pencils. However, I think I'm going to be going to a dowel rod, and I'll show you why. But with the pencil, I put them in here, and I also put some of them, I used just a regular pool noodle from the Dollar Tree. So it worked great. Just poked them in and let it spin. Okay. But next time I'm going to use a dowel rod, and also I'm going to probably put a little bit of like Vaseline down the dowel rod, because they did, so this is a carcass. It did, you know, I put it on, it was fine, but you know, on some of these I did have to go in and like push through with something to get them out. Now I think the dowel rod will be a better choice, because I like the idea of it, you know, sitting more like this all the way through. So I'm going to use the dowel rod, and I actually think that I'll probably put some Vaseline on the dowel rod just to help keep it, you know, clean on the edges and the inside. I don't expect to not have to clean something up, but I think it will definitely be helpful. So here is your pen, right? So you start and you just take it apart and make sure that you do something with your insides that you're not going to lose them. So for me, I have a little baggie that I put all my inside pieces in, and I lost a piece. It's around here somewhere. I'll find it. But I put all my inside pieces. Oh, there it is. I put all my inside pieces in a baggie so that I don't lose them. Now, a little pair of pliers. I like these with this flat end. It works perfect. And you just put that on and snip it off. Now, depending on what pliers you use, you may have a piece here that needs to be sanded a little bit, but I go in and sand it a little bit before I put paint on it anyways. So then you do want to paint it, you add your glitter, and then it's painted, it's glittered, and you have it on here. So then I went in and I just a little bit of epoxy at a time, added my epoxy over top of each one, you know, nice and smooth. And then once I had them all done, I put it on the turner and let it turn. All right. Now, if you don't have a turner, I feel like this is something that you could easily do. I think that this could easily be done with the hang method. So just like this, and just little bits of epoxy at a time. Tiny, tiny little bits. And I think that you could definitely do it that way. So, just like a tumbler, I, you know, put my epoxy over my glitter. I took them off when they were dry. Anything that was sticking out on, especially on the chunkies, I went through and I just took a light piece of sandpaper and I sanded it. And then it was nice and smooth. I put my decal, and then I put another thing of epoxy on it, and then let it spin. And then I did one more layer of epoxy, because these are so small and you're doing such thin layers of epoxy. I wanted that third coat on it, and I think that the third coat was very helpful. So afterwards, all right, I told you that we did have to take something and pop some of them off the pencil. So, you know, sort of think about that as you're going, right? Just like things stick in your cup. But this is a little bit harder to clean the inside of than your cup. So I talk about this whirligig all the time. So its real name is a deburring tool. You can get this at any hardware store. You can get them on Amazon. I will leave a link in my description. They're very inexpensive. You can get them for, you know, $1 up to $10 for, you know, these heavier duty ones, right? But this is such a good tool to have if you're doing epoxy. I use it on everything, and it came in perfectly handy for these. So afterwards, I just went in, I used this, and I cleaned out my sides. Easy peasy. And then what I found was very helpful. So afterwards, I put Dawn on them to wash them, just like I do with my cups. and I use this baby bottle brush. So it's a nipple brush. It's on the bottom part of the baby bottle brush. And this worked just absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, I will say, please do not use this on a nipple once you've used it on this, because it is no longer a nipple brush. It is now a pen brush. All right. And yeah, so to be honest, these were really, really easy to do. Those are some of the things that I found helpful. I would definitely paint them the color of the glitter that you're going to use or something similar. So my red ones, I painted red. All the others I painted white. And I wish that I had painted them, and from here out I will paint with a similar color to the glitter I'm using. And the reason for that is because the surface being so small, you can't put a whole lot of glitter on. They don't really take a lot of glitter, and you know, so you have a lot more peek through than you would on a tumbler. But they still turned out just absolutely fabulous. And I will tell you, I did a combination because I wanted to see how it worked. I did on some of them, I did a spray paint. On some of them, I brushed them with chalk paint. And both worked perfect, no problem. And just stick them on your dowel rod and paint it. With the ones that I, you know, painted with the brush, I just put them on like this and painted them, let them dry, and then, you know, continued on. And then the ones that I did with spray paint, I had on a glove, put them on here, spray painted them, and then just set them in there to dry. So that worked out really, really well. I do think the dowel rods are the better way to go than the pencils. But I did get the pencils at the Dollar Tree, 12 in a pack for $1. They have same brand, same pencils. They have one pack that has 10, one pack that has 12. So if you decide to go with pencils, you know, look for the pack that has 12. And then I got this pack of dowel rods. There are 10 in them for $1. And this is what I'm going to be using. And honestly, I think that that's really everything. This is a super, super, super fun project. I really, really liked it. And again, they are the Inkjoy pens and by Papermate. And yeah, it was super, super fun. So try it. I think you'll love it. I am currently in the process. I am doing some, and I am going to, because I know not everybody likes to use epoxy. Some people are allergic to it. So I am doing some, and I'm going to seal them with a combination of, I'm going to do Mod Podge and clear spray for the sealing on them. When they are done, I will share them with you, whether they turn out great or whether they turn out terrible. I will share them with you so you can see. These honestly took me about 2 weeks to finish because my schedule is just really, really full right now with work. However, I am in the process of working on the other ones. I'll get them out as soon as possible. And I'm going to do another set of these as soon as the weather. It's Florida and it is like in the 50s every day. And my epoxy does not like that. And I do epoxy outside. So as soon as the weather gets a little bit better, I will be doing some more epoxy ones, and I will video from beginning to end so that you can see the whole thing rather than me just explaining it to you. But anyways, I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys have a blessed and beautiful day. Thank you, friends. Please give it a big thumbs up. It was a lot of work, and if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you later. Bye. Now this one As you can see, this one turned out a little bit lumpy, and I wanted to keep it in and show you so that you make sure that you get your epoxy nice and even, because it's such a pretty color. So what I'll do is go back and just sand it down and re-epoxy it, just like I would if it were a tumbler. And then look how nice and smooth this is. These turn out beautiful. Now, for the ones that I put a decal on, that I put the names, what I did was I did the names with my Cricut, and then I did a reverse weed to weed out the names since they were so small. Have a great day, friends.